His introduction to the Platt-Eye came a couple months after Mama passed and before he shacked up with Pawpaw. This was where he intended to go with his thoughts in the first place, but his mind often had to hitchhike to the point. He went to the old Campbell property in the southern corner of Pleasant Storm. Adam Campbell was a farmer who went crazy some 20 years ago. He slaughtered his family and over a dozen neighbors. Campbell died when he got pinned in a barn with his victims and it caught fire. He burned to death. It was the only thing Pleasant Storm was famous for. The abandoned and rotted Campbell house was where many a high schooler congregated to drink, dry hump, and do stupid stunts. But Chuck went just after dusk on homecoming night because he knew it'd just be him and the ghost for a spell. And that was fine. He found himself in a bad frame, so he reckoned he'd go to a place that hurt as badly as he did. His first encounter with the demon was at the very place on that very night. It first appeared to him as a feral shadow dog with a single red eye that glowed like a hateful coal. It growled at him from the woods in the distance. He knew what he faced right away. The legend of the Platt-Eye stated that it was a shapeshifter and could take the form of anything up to something as big as a bull. But no matter the metamorphosis, it only ever had one eye. Mama's tale came to his mind in that encounter. Chuck figured the Campbell property, with its reddened roots, spawned it. He ran his ass away. Chuck had never been terrified. He wanted to turn around and gauge its speed, but he didn't dare. With his right eye missing, he was prone to run into things. He came to a small creek. He leapt over it, the heels of his shoes touching water. He didn't hear it coming after that, so he stopped. He looked back. The Platt-Eye glowered at him from the other side of the creek and paced its skinny shore. That's what sold it for him. The demon couldn't cross running water. Mama told him that. After that night, he'd see it in the woods in the form of other black creatures. Rabbit, coyote, possum. Eventually the Platt-Eye donned the figure of a human-shaped shadow that darted behind the trees and brush. The only light it gave was from that single orb of hell red. Of course, there was an ounce of irony there, the demon having one eye and all. It didn't dawn on Chuck as quickly as you might expect it to. The Platt-Eye's vile evolution was complete, and it imprinted on Chuck, like a newborn critter that takes the first thing it sees for its mama. Chuck knew to avoid the demon. Damnation and madness came with its touch. If it got into him, it'd make him do whatever it wanted, or worse. It'd make him do whatever he wanted.